See, there is no first creation. The creation, the sustenance of the universe, the destruction of the universe is an infinite cycle. It goes on and on and on. In Hindi, we can say Pravaha se Anadi. Anadi, this universe is not Anadi. This earth, this sun, moon, they are not Anadi, but they are Pravaha se Anadi. Means the creation of earth, sun, moon, etc. will be Anadi, will be infinite. It will be created again and again and again, destructed again and again and again. This is called as Pravaha se Anadi. So the question that comes in the mind is when and how was the first creation? I mean, you say that Vedas say there is no first creation, but how is it possible? How can somewhere the first creation must have happened, right? So this question comes into our mind because we see people taking birth, we see people dying, we see something is getting created, we see something is getting destroyed. That is why we think that no, this universe also must have a first time possibility. First time creation must have been done, must have been there. So, when was the first creation? So, that is the question which comes into our mind again and again. I always say that, okay, leave that question. You are unable to find the answer, leave that question. Focus on your present. Focus on what you are doing at the moment. You have taken birth, you know that. You exist, you know that, right? So you are existing now with the current facilities with your hand, in your hand. Try to focus on your sadhana. No. I'm still not satisfied. What is the first creation? When was the first creation? How was it? How the first creation happened? Vedas clearly teaches for thinking methodology. How should you think? So in this case also, for example, I'll just quote one Rigveda mantra before telling my points. I'm not going to give you a satisfying answer for sure. But Rigveda says, Surya Chandra Masaudata Yata Purvam Akalpayat Divam cha Prithivim cha Antariksham Atoswaha. Divam cha Prithivim cha Antariksham Atoswaha. Dhata, the sustainer of all, the Almighty God, Maharishi Dhananda Saraswati writes, Akalpayat creates through his infinite omnipotence Surya Chandra Masau, the sun and the moon, Cha Prithivim, and the earth which we live upon, Cha Antariksham, and also the intermediate regions, the vast expanse of space, and the Divam, the celestial bodies, the celestial regions, Atoswaha, and also the blissful spheres of existence, Yata Purvam, just in the same manners as in the previous cycles of creations. So Yata Purvam, जैसे इस पृथ्वी अभी है वैसे पिछले में भी था, means just as this creation exists, the previous creation also existed. So there is no then there is no, it just says a cycle, it just represents and denotes a cycle. जैसे अभी है पहले था. In the last creation, जैसे अभी है पहले था. In the next creation, जैसे अभी है पहले था. Just as it exists now, it was there. Just as it was existing previous, it was there in the previous. So this is a cycle which does not tell about any first date of creation. This creation existed, but before this creation, another creation existed, and that creation and this creation, there is no difference. Why there is no difference? Because Paramatma is Paripurna. Paramatma's Gyan Karma Swabhav is Paripurna, Swabhavik. Because he is Paripurna, he does not change anything. He does not require any change. He does not, modify anything because he is Paripurna, right? So that is why, just like this universe existed, the previous universe also existed. Same, ditto, same to same. Same to same does not mean that today you are finding a mango tree outside a house. Does not mean that in the next universe also the mango tree will be there. No. The framework will be same. Sun will be there, moon will be there, the distance between sun and the earth, the distance between earth and the moon, the distance between the sun and the center of the galaxy, the distance between Milky Way and other galaxies, everything will be more or less same. Everything will be similar. Okay, so this we must understand. So here, when it comes to the first creation, how we should analyze this is what was before first creation. Okay, let's assume that the first time creation happens. Let's assume, to get satisfaction, we must try to assume something. In mathematics also we do something, right? So let's assume that the first creation happens. The question that I would ask you, for the people who have this doubt, is what existed before first creation? So naturally you would say the cause of the first creation existed, right? The cause of the first creation, Prakriti, Jivatma, Paramatma, existed. So the question again that has to be asked is, before the first creation, if Paramatma existed, then why he did not create before that? Why he created at that point of time? What changed inside Paramatma which told Paramatma, no, now you have to do first creation? Is there any change that happens inside Paramatma or inside his knowledge saying that abhi first creation shuru kar lo? See, this kind of change does not happen inside Paramatma. Paramatma is Sarvatra Paripurna. There is no change inside Paramatma which says that, okay, now you do this. Paramatma ka gyan karma swabhav is swabhavik anadi. So, let's assume that first creation is going to happen. That means before the first creation, Paramatma did not possess something and he suddenly started realizing, no, I should now do the creation. So he becomes a Alpa Shaktiman. This is point number one. Please understand. See, to understand the Yatharth Gyan, Yatharth means to understand the reality, we must try to have arguments like this inside our mind. This is point number one. And point number two, if suppose Paramatma creates the first creation, suppose, okay, you are assuming now Paramatma, iske pehle, what happens before that is immaterial. I don't care. Paramatma, what he thought and why he created, I don't care. But he created first creation. If he does if something happens like that, then Paramatma will immediately become Anyayakari and Alpa Shaktiman. Anyayakari, why? Because if he has to create a first creation, he has to make somebody as human beings, he has to make somebody as animals, he has to make somebody as trees, plants, virus, bacteria, etc. Right? So he immediately becomes Anyayakari. And Paramatma स्वभाव is not अन्यायकारी. स्वभाव से वो न्यायकारी है, स्वभाव से वो परिपूर्ण है, स्वभाव से he is सर्वशक्तिमान. So there is no concept of first creation at all. Just like you take a wheel, you are having a wheel in front of you. Which is the first spoke in the wheel? You say like this is a wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spokes are there. Which is the first spoke? You say this is the first spoke. I say no. This spoke is before this. No. Okay, this is the first spoke. No. This spoke is before this. This spoke is before this. Like that, you can never. But you understand this is a wheel. There is a spoke. You understand, right? Similarly, we must understand there is no first creation. If there is a first creation, then Paramatma will immediately become Anyayakari. And Paramatma can never do Anyaya. That's why first creation in the Vedic sense is always for a Jivatma. First creation is for us. For a Jivatma, the first creation is that creation from, where the Jivatma returns from moksha. After going through the cycle of moksha, 36,000 cycles of creation and destruction of the universe, the Jivatma will come back to birth again. That is the first creation for the Jivatma. Otherwise, because when the Jivatma returns from moksha, the Jivatma sees all, I have, suppose for example, this is my first janma after moksha. For example, I'm just telling you, I know that. But I'm just telling you, suppose I have taken birth now from moksha. For me, when I took birth here from my parents, I can see the entire universe. I can see the rest of the universe, trees, plant, bacteria. So other Jivatmas were not from moksha. I came from moksha. For me, this is the first creation. So from Paramatma's point of view, every Jivatma can never attain moksha at the same time. And as long as every Jivatma can never attain moksha at the same time, the universe continues to exist. And when suppose the question asked to Adi Shankaracharya by his disciple that if suppose every Jivatma attains moksha, then what happens? So Adi Shankaracharya ji told, you are asking a hypothetical question. ऐसा संभव नहीं है. Every Jivatma cannot attain moksha at the same time. Suppose example, a person who is in Vedic path attains moksha in this janma. You see the amount of population who are not in Vedic path. You see the number of trees who are Jivatmas. So those Jivatmas will start coming to human birth, and the Jivatmas which are in human birth will go into animal birth because they are not in the Vedic path. So this cycle will continue. So one in few hundred or few thousand or few lakh or few crore Jivatma will go to moksha. So for the rest of the Jivatmas, the universe has to continue. So this cycle will go on and on and on, and Paramatma will keep on creating the universe for all the Jivatmas. So there is no first creation. The moment you put a word first, because of our limited mind, right? Mind is limited. Mind is created. We are created thing. It cannot understand which is, I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not saying that I have the understanding by realization. I'm just putting some logics to you. If you say there is a first creation, why you say? Because as you see from your mind that something is getting created, something is just getting destroyed. So there must be something called as first creation. But put a logic there. Understand that if there is a first creation, what was before that? The before that naturally should be the cause of the first creation. What was the cause of first creation? Paramatma. And if Paramatma is there, from Prakriti, Paramatma creates the universe. So why he did not create before that first creation? Why he did not do that creation before that? Oh, that means Paramatma is Alpa Shaktiman. Paramatma ko samajh nahi aaya. He does not have understanding before that. Suddenly he got understanding. Aisa gun Paramatma mein nahi hai. This is not the gun of Paramatma. So that's why the Vedic Dharma is the only thing which clarifies this, that there is no first creation. If you go to any other religion, all man-made religions will say that, sabse pehle, first time Allah thought, or Jesus, whatever it is, the God name, Vishnu Bhagavan thought, sabse pehle, we must create the universe. I must create the universe. First time, how anybody can think that I must create the universe? That means before that you didn't have that thinking, you didn't have that knowledge, so you are Alpa Shaktiman, right? So that is why Paramatma clarifies that there is no first creation. This is an ongoing, like infinite cycle which will go on and on and on and on and on and on. What is there in it for us? We are here now. Today you are here. You have been taking birth. Anadikal se you have been taking birth. You have been dying. You have been taking birth, dying, birth, death. So now it is a time for us to wake up. Like, I cannot continue this cycle. I am taking birth again and now I am suffering. I have a leg pain. I have a diabetes. I have this disease. I have this problem. I don't have money. I am hungry. I am tired. Always jagada, ye, wo, dukh. So I cannot continue like this. So Paramatma says in the Vedas, don't continue like this. Start practicing Ashtanga Yoga Vidya, then attain moksha and go to moksha for 36,000 cycles of creation, which is like 311 trillion years, go in moksha. So instead of suffering day in and day out, let me go to moksha for 311 trillion years. After that I will take birth again, let me do this. So this is the inspiration we must attain, we must take from the Veda Vidya. Instead of, always thinking, pehle kya tha? Sabse pehle creation, how it was created. No, that is unnecessary for us, to be honest. Understand the concept and then proceed in the Vedic path is my suggestion to those people. I got this question in the last, like yesterday night one person asked, day before night also one person asked, where I sent him a video in Hindi, and uske pehle bhi somebody, 2-3 people asked, so I thought of again clarifying. I tried to clarify this in my previous videos, maybe not clear, but I tried again to give some more clarity to you. I'm sure you would have understood. If you have not understood, don't get into this trap. Just come out of the trap and then work towards your moksha path. This is what I can suggest you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.